Hello and welcome to my F124 driver career mode here today for part 45 for the Singapore Grand Prix. We're under the lights. It is raining for this qualifying session. It is meant to dry up towards the end, but there still could be a mix-up grid and a chance for some opportunities this weekend. Going to the final corner now in qualifying. We struggled to get the power down. We ran the final corner, we got up to the line, and then we went for a second run on the same set of tyres. We found 1.2 seconds and the rain has stopped and the track is very dry, so we know we drop it going into the final corner. We move up to P8, but by the end of qualifying we were one of the first cars to go. We found nearly 12 seconds on this lap. As we come up to the line, we round the final corner, cross the line, and that P13.
So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Fernando Alonso lines up on pole position, and Oscar Piastri completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Ocon, Perez, Gasly, Tsunoda, Ricciardo, Sainz, Leclerc, Hamilton, Albon, Brown, Stroll, Bottas, Joe, Russell, Hulkenberg, Sargent, and Lando Norris starts from the back of the grid. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track. And the formation lap gets underway here in Singapore. The fans have come out here in large numbers and they'll be hoping to see an exciting race unfold before their very eyes. As the cars make their way back to the starting grid to form up and get ready for lights out, let's hope the race ahead today is a thrilling one that will go down as a memorable Grand Prix in the history books.
So we're going to need a good start. It's hard to overtake around Singapore, so the start is very crucial. And we're racing here under the lights of Singapore. We've got a fairly decent start, though that Williams to the inside as we break later. Round the outside of Mark because we've got both Ferraris there. Now round the outside of the Williams of Albon. We're fighting him in the championship. Have we got a job done? Yes, we have. To the inside, we nearly hit the back of that Alpine. But we've gained a lot of places at turn 1 on this open lap. We're all over the back now of Gasly. To the inside we go. We're past him. Next to the road is the RB. Can we get to the inside of him? No, we're too far back to do anything. Just there. Now we're going to have to hang on. It's going to be hard to overtake him from here. But on to lap 2. As we head down towards turn 6, we're a long way back from the RB, but we are getting closer and closer. Look at the straight line speed. Down the inside we're too far back to do anything. It does put a defensive shape as up the road Ocon and Perez are getting away, but this time we're close enough to the RB of Yuki Tsunoda to go down the inside. We give him the little nudge in the elbow and we get the place and we're up into P6. As this is behind us, Daniel Ricciardo in P9 is slowing down to retire from the Grand Prix, and that's a big engine failure from the Williams, and that's back-to-back engine failures for Williams. It was Albon last time out in Baku, it's Ricciardo tonight in Singapore. And now at this stage of the race, lap 6, where we were trying our best to get that gap down between Ocon and Perez. The gap was staying around 2 seconds, but we really struggled to shake off Tsunoda behind, but he was just staying outside our DRS and couldn't get close enough to have a go. So we were kind of in no man's land and it was very dull, to be honest with you. We were slowly getting the gap down to Ocon, but lap 14 now, You can see Tsunoda's getting closer to us, but it's too far back, as Charles Leclerc has an issue with his engine. As you see, Perez and Ocon stay out, so I thought, why not? The gap 2 seconds. It's a long lap here in Singapore, and the undercut can be very, very powerful. So let's see if we can pull it off. Maybe, if not overtake Ocon and Perez, but at least get ourselves in the conversation as the mediums go off, the hard tyres go on, to get us to the end of this Grand Prix. Hopefully we can finish the race this season. We DNF'd last season. As we come out now, we are going to come out on stone dead last P19 after the Ricardo DNF, and we've come out just behind the Haas there of Logan Sargent not having the best of seasons, last in the Drivers' Championship, still yet to get a point, the same as his teammate as well. Haas having an awful season, as we're all over the back of Hulkenberg and of Sargent now. As we go to the inside, we go very late up the inside into the chicane, and we get the job done, and we head towards the final corner, as this is Esteban Ocon coming out of the pits after he's made his one and only stop of the day, and we're coming flying down the pit straight. Have we got the job done? Have we brought ourselves in the conversation? There is Ocon, and that 2 seconds roundabout, we've wiped out completely. It's not close enough to get us behind, but it's brought us into play. Perez has stayed out an extra lap, so where does Perez come out relative to this battle? Can we get Ocon now? We're going to go for it down the inside, there's nearly contact, but we get the job done. Ocon's going to hold the inside line, we're going to sweep round the outside. Can we get the extra traction with our tyres that are much more up to temperature? And we get the job done on Esteban Ocon. This is Sergio Perez now, making his one and only stop. Where do we come out as this Perez exiting the pits? You can see us going flying into turn 1. There is Perez, we're going to be side by side with Perez. We're just ahead, there's nearly contact with the Red Bull. We're side by side. Perez is too far back, he's going to brake later. We keep him behind though, and we have done a strategic masterclass there. 2 seconds behind them too. We've boxed for the undercut, and we've come out a bit. We had to get the job done, as this is Pierre Gasly's engine going and retiring from the Grand Prix. His teammate is doing very well, Ocon, and Gasly's back on the sidelines. He's had so much poor reliability this season, as Perez now at 21 wants us back. We really push him off the track. We couldn't break the DRS. It was similar to the first half of the race with Yuki Tsunoda. Lap 26 though, we were just keeping Perez behind inside the DRS. We couldn't have a go to get past, but we couldn't get the gap down to Oscar Piastri up front. You can see the gap to Piastri on the podium is 9 seconds. It's going on to lap 30. Perez tried at turn 1, and we keep the Red Bull behind. We battled him for the win briefly last time out in Baku, but he came out on top then. But this man, Max Verstappen, has dominated under the lights in Singapore as he heads for title number 6. He comes up to the line to win in Singapore. Alonso comes home for P2. Oscar Piastri, very lonely race for him. He's going to come home for the final spot on the podium, and we are going to hold off the other Red Bull of Sergio Perez to get a fairly decent P4.
Heading to the top step once again, Max Verstappen takes the win.
Such an important victory at this stage of the season. Any points you can achieve to go towards the table is really going to mean a lot to the team. So well done as they prepare for the end of the season.
The drivers are en route to the podium as we speak. What a fantastic win for the Red Bull team. They've performed exceptionally today, keeping us firmly on the edge of our seats throughout the entirety of the race. Congratulations to everyone at the team.
So Max Verstappen wins the Singapore Grand Prix, his first win since Zandvoort as well. Alonso P2, Piastri P3, and we come home for P4, which after starting P13 is a very good result for us. And then down at the back there was 2 retirements, Daniel Ricciardo retiring early on, and then Pierre Gasly in the middle part of the race whilst we were battling his teammate and Sergio Perez. And then it was Logan Sargent who we overtook at one stage of the race. He was the last finisher in P18. And then in terms of the Drivers' Championship, Max now has a 58-point lead over Fernando Alonso. We have re-overtaken Lando Norris and Alex Albon for P3 in the championship after losing some points in the last couple of rounds. We are now 85 points off Max Verstappen, and then there's 4 drivers who are still yet to score: Lance Stroll, Valtteri Bottas, Nico Hulkenberg and Logan Sargent. And then in the constructors, Red Bull extend their lead by 6 points to 10. It was 4 coming into this weekend. McLaren still keeping an interest, they're 48 points though behind Red Bull, so we have a 30-point lead over them. And then it's Ferrari P4 and Williams are P5, and then it's still Haas, the only team who have still yet to score this season. So that's been your Singapore Grand Prix then. A very dull race from our part. Next time we go to COTA, our second sprint race as well of the season, and I'll see you then. Goodbye.